with me, please? Attack!
We didn't follow that Lombax and his Robopet across dimensions just to get stopped by some fuzzballs!
Give it up for our hero!
Ratchet, we need your help. Nefarious
Hello and welcome to my full review on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So yeah, the game's been out for quite a while now, and let's get into the review. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a 2021 third-person shooter platform developed by Insomniac Games. Insomniac have been pushing out so many good games since Spider-Man PS4. Insomniac are my new favourite game company, eh? They're actually fucking wicked, boy. The game shares many gameplay similarities with Ratchet and Clank 2016 and other entries in the series. It retains elements of previous Ratchet and Clank games such as strafing, gunplay, collection of bolts, automatic weapon and health upgrades, manual titanium weapon upgrading and gadgets. The main character is Ratchet. He is also followed by his robot friend and sidekick Clank. Additionally, the game has a playable female Lombax called Rivet. The game navigates Ratchet and Rivet through diverse environments across a multitude of levels, defeating enemies with an array of varied weapons and gadgets, and traversing obstacles to complete key mission objectives. The game also features an assortment of accessibility options, including a high contrast mode and toggles for simplified traversal, camera sensitivity, flight assistance, etc. to ensure that all players can enjoy the gameplay and complete the story. And the plot of this game. Well, in light of their previous heroics, Ratchet and Clank are celebrated as galactic heroes. Clank reveals that he has repaired the Dimensionator, a device capable of opening rifts to other dimensions, so that Ratchet can search for the Lombax race and his missing family. However, Dr. Nefarious suddenly attacks the parade and attempts to steal the Dimensionator. But during the struggle, however, Ratchet unthinkably shoots the Dimensionator, which causes dimensional rifts to begin opening randomly. Ratchet, Clank, and Dr. Nefarious end up being transported to an alternate universe. The Dimensionator then explodes, which damages the fabric of space and time, separates the three. Clank awakens to find himself alone and now missing his right forearm. Clank is then discovered and picked up by a female Lombax called Rivet. Meanwhile, Dr. Nefarious ends up in a throne room, where he is mistaken for Emperor Nefarious, the alternate version of Nefarious who, unlike him, has never been defeated in this dimension. Ratchet, meanwhile, finds himself alone and starts his search for Clank. With the Empire currently absent on a conquest, Dr. Nefarious secretly assumes his identity and sends his new minions after Ratchet and Rivet. Now, the overall plot of this game is amazing. If I was to give the plot a rating, I would give the plot probably an 8. No, it's not the best plot out of all the games, but like the way it opens up, like, you know, new characters like Rivet and Kit, and even the new Emperor Nefarious, it really opens it up in a way where they can be explored in future titles, and in a way where you actually, like, you know, have meaningful, where you actually have meaning, where it actually has meaning to, you know, worry about these characters other than just like throwaway characters which they create. Rivet and Kit are really good characters for the franchise, and the fact that there's a hidden backstory between both of them is kind of just really good. You know, it ties it all together. Now, the soundtrack was alright. It wasn't that amazing, but it was alright just for the game. Now, remember, this game came out in June 11th, 2021, and not many people will have PlayStation 5s to take advantage of this game. And by far, this probably is, if you think about it, the most truest next-gen game to be released on the PlayStation 5. And plus, it's a PlayStation exclusive title, which is even better. This game kind of almost uses the PlayStation 5 to its full capability, but there are some limitations with the actual hardware which you need to run this game at the max settings, because right now there are no HDMI 2.1 monitors. There might actually, no, there is, but like I'm pretty sure not many people are going to be able to, you know, afford one of them. So that's pretty much a downside. Unless you can afford nearly $1,000 monitor, you won't be able to take full advantage of like the 4K. But even I've got a $1,000 monitor and it still struggles. And also there's a feature where it says There's free features on the settings for like the gameplay and the video. There's free settings for the graphical settings, performance RT, and I think it's just another one, ray tracing. So there's no 4K 60 FPS feature, or there's no 4K 120 FPS, because like if there's no 4K 60 FPS, there's not going to be no 4K 120 FPS. So you're basically limited to either graphics or performance. Yeah, basically you're basically limited to graphics or performance. And even with the monitor I'm using, it doesn't, for the performance one, it doesn't really look graphically appealing. The graphics get lowered down, but the performance of like the frame rate gets higher and higher, 60 FPS, which look like 60 FPS looks amazing on this game, trust me. And I only really discovered it after I got to the last mission. Then I was just playing the last mission in 60 FPS, and then I had to switch it back because it was kind of stuffing up my whole save gameplay and stuff. But yeah, like, I wish there was a feature where you can play 60 FPS 4K. Like, I shouldn't be really, complaining about. I shouldn't have to complain about that because it is a PlayStation 5, and the fact they didn't have that, I don't know why would they not have that. It's just It's just kind of it's kind of a miss for them. Like many games this year, Ratchet and Clank has got great reviews so far from basically everyone. It's getting scores of like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 from critics and fans alike. So that means it's a really good game. Now, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart did get the second biggest sales out of all the Ratchet and Clank sales besides the remake for 2016. And the problem why it didn't get first is because PlayStation 5 consoles are hard to get. And that's why it didn't become first over the 2016 remake, because not many people can get PlayStation 5s. That's probably the reason I can think about why it didn't get, first on the biggest selling Ratchet and Clank game. And it also got lots of physical versions of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart as well, which is pretty amazing. In the first week of Japan, the release had like 14,000 physical copies sold across the whole country. And that's actually pretty cool. Like, people were going back to old school physical copy. Now, I have replayed this game about halfway into it now after like a new game plus. And it's pretty good, but like I don't really expect DLCs, especially for Ratchet and Clank. Like for the Spider-Man games for Insomniac, I do expect DLCs, but for Ratchet and Clank, I'm happy for it to not have a DLC. I wouldn't be mad if it didn't have a DLC, because it's a Ratchet and Clank. Like, you don't really need a DLC for a game like this. But whereas Spider-Man is kind of like a new type of game for Insomniac, whereas Ratchet and Clank has been out for nearly 20 years now. So I don't really expect DLC. Now, in terms of going forward for the future of the franchise of Ratchet and Clank, I would have to say, since that this game has been released, we are going to get Wolverine and a Spider-Man 2 game from Insomniac, which I mentioned before. They are my new favorite game company because they make fucking wicked games within the past generation for the end cycle of PlayStation 4 and now PlayStation 5. So yeah, they are my new favorite game company. And now, since they are releasing lots of games since like Spider-Man PS4, then after that we've had Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then this game, Ratchet and Clank, I don't expect another sequel to Ratchet and Clank for at least 2 years, because we still got Spider-Man 2 and the new Wolverine game, and I'm pretty sure Wolverine for Insomniac will be coming out. I'm going to say earliest next year, at the end of next year, 2022. And Spider-Man 2 might be able to come out at the start or the middle of next year, or maybe a bit more. Maybe 2023 for Wolverine, I'm not quite sure. So, saying that, Insomniac, they do like to make lots of games, back to back, because they're a hard-working company, it shows. Not like some companies, like some game companies like Ubisoft and fucking EA and Activision, where they just pump out shit games with like no dedicated story. Most of the fans are just fucking money hungry, fucking brainwashed fucking buyers into those games. And then Insomniac, they actually make true, real games. Now, I don't mind the customization for this game. It's not that crazy. It's kind of basic in a way, but like it still is pretty cool. It looks amazing on the PlayStation 5. I wouldn't really know what it would look like on the PlayStation 4. I reckon it still could hold up, but it's good that it's on PS5. Just like how I want the new God of War 5 to be on PS5. It's good that games like this are starting to become PS5 exclusive, so we can fully see the performance of the PlayStation 5. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be my full review on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in another video. Cheers.